Next, we've got GenG against Complexity Crew Battle. Again, sponsored by Chalkcast. Winning team takes $300. If you're wondering, where did all that money come from? Well, it's actually from the Chalkcast Patreon. We've been generously supported by our listeners, by our viewers of the podcast. And we've decided to use that money to create events, sponsor matches, just try and make cool stuff happen in the Rocket League community. So if you like that, then you'll probably like Chalkcast. Definitely give it a look, give it a listen. Myself, CJ, and Rizzo do weekly live episodes, and we also record weekly bonus episodes for the Patreon supporters. Slight note, AJG's colorblind, and that's why they didn't want to play the new map. And also, another thing to note, apparently colorblind mode doesn't work for him. So he's tried colorblind mode. There is a colorblind mode in Rocket League. You can actually see it in the settings. I used to have it on because I thought maybe I should do that for my colorblind viewers, but then I had the same thing from some of my colorblind viewers. Here it is in interface options. Some of my viewers who are colorblind were saying that it didn't really work for them. So I turned it back off again. But I don't know why that is. Anybody know why colorblind mode doesn't work, or what colorblind mode actually does, what it tries to do? Because yeah, I'm not colorblind, so I don't really know what it's trying to do. I'm not sure if I can even see the effect of it. But yeah, AJD is colorblind. It doesn't work for him. But okay, we've got GenG versus Complexity, best of 7. They wanted to play best of 7. I offered them best of 5 because that's the fusion format for crew battles. They wanted best of 7, which is absolutely fine. So the way that this works, as I've explained a couple times, but I'll do it again because there's probably somebody tuning in for the VOD wondering what's going on here, why are there multiple game modes? Well, crew battles is 3s, 2s and 1s, and the order in which we've chosen to play those games, oh great pass by the way by CRR, phenomenal stuff. But the order in which we've chosen to play these games is game 1 3v3, game 2 2v2, game 3 1v1, and from that point onwards it will be up to the teams to choose. So whoever's losing after game 3, whether it be 2-1 or 3-0 in the series, they'll get to choose game 4's game mode, and then the other team will choose game 5's game mode, then they'll just go back and forth picking one game mode each for the rest of the series. But the initial 3 games will be key. If you're winning after 3 games, you'll have the choice in game 5. You'll also have the decisive choice in game 7 should the series go that far. So very, very important in this format that you're winning after 3 games, because then you get to choose what game mode the deciding match will be played with. Actually did not specify, I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't specify to the players which rules we're going to use to prevent the same game mode basically just being chosen over and over again. But I will tell them after this game that you can't pick the same game mode twice in a row. So games 4, 5 and 6, or rather games 4 and 5 will have to be different game modes. And then after that it resets, and games 6 and 7 have to be different game modes. However, you can actually pick a repeat game mode in game 6. The reason is because if you don't allow that, then game 6 is just an automatic choice, which would, you know, not really give the team who are losing an advantage at all, because they're just forced into a game mode regardless of what their choice is, or regardless of what they want to play. But yeah, if that makes sense, type 1. It's pretty simple. I'll explain it again as we go on. Right now we're just watching 3v3. You guys don't need me to explain that. Classic Cassowary, thanks for the 500 bits, by the way. Appreciate the kind words as well. Kira, thanks for 39-month Prime. Welcome back to you, to the channel. And Andrew with Cheese, thanks for the Prime. Welcome to you also. Uno Reverse Card, thanks for 20-month Prime. Welcome back. See mostly ones in chat, so I'll leave the format explanations for now. But don't worry, if you didn't understand that, it'll make more sense as we go on through this best of 7. This is one of my favorite formats in Rocket League. I love the variety. I love that you're guaranteed to see a little bit of everything, even if the series is a sweep, which I don't expect this series to be, by the way. GenG and Complexity, hard at work, grinding for, not this weekend, but next weekend's NA Regional 3, the Invitational, the most competitive and closest Invitational, the closest regional we've ever seen in North American RLCS history. 10 teams still in the running, not just for qualification, but in fact for first seed. That's right, you heard me. There are 10 teams going into the final regional who could all be seed 1 at the end of regional 3, depending on results. And yeah, these guys are, I think Complexity are currently joint first. and GenG are currently joint 5th. Complexity a little bit safer, but not even by much. I think it's just a 4-point difference from 1st to 5th. I'm liking what I'm seeing from GenG in this game, though. You know, GenG, a very rough Regional 2, eliminated by Shopify Rebellion, who are by no means a bad team, but not a team that GenG can afford to be losing to, especially not in the round of 12 in double elimination. Complexity champions the Regional 1 for RLCS to split in North America, also eliminated in that same round, and it was by NRG, so maybe even for somebody a more surprising result. It's Onyx, thanks to the 34-month Tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Now, GenG in their last matches with Complexity have not found a win. Their RLCS matches, that is. They've not beaten Complexity in their last 3 attempts. 2 of those losses came in Regional 1 of the Spring Split. Their other most recent loss came at the Winter Major in the group stage. I don't think that they're going to be taking this as seriously as RLCS. I wouldn't try to convince you that they will. But this is always a very serious match when GenG are taking on Complexity. They want to make sure that they're playing at their best. Complexity all about the redirects in that Regional 1 win. We almost saw one there. A little bit of a team bump there. CRR trips up Reysbull. Final seconds approaching. AJG finds an opening. This could be something special. Oh, so close by AJG with the tight angle double tap. It's still on the goal line, and it's in for Reysbull 3 seconds ago. They've tied it up. Well, I never. AJG nearly did it all himself. That was, I think, off the crossbar. Looked like a goalkeeper might have got something on it, but the trail was already indicated. It was just a clean touch to the crossbar. Complexity commit everybody to the task, and they get the job done. Huge game 1. 2v2 follows this one. You're not going to see 3v3 for at least another 20 minutes or so. And this is, of course, the game mode that these teams care most about. If they're going to lose the crew battle, at least win the 3v3s. Big dunk from AJG. Player I said I think is the most improved from last season to this one. Still think that's a reasonable take. A lot of players massively improved, of course. A lot of people threw Chronic's name into that conversation when I did tweet out that I think AJG is the most improved player since last season. But the reason I don't think Chronic is is valid in that conversation is because actually we weren't really sure what level Chronic was at the end of last season. He hadn't had a chance to play on a top team yet. Yeah, Rodoson's another person who comes to mind, but same thing, we hadn't really seen him on a top team, and I reckon Rodoson was actually pretty good at the end of the last season. Even though, let's just say I rated Rodoson very highly. I thought he was excellent at the end of last season. Same with Exotic. These are players who've really come into their own this season, but I don't think people rated them as highly as they should have last season. Whereas AJG, really, this has been his season to show everybody what he's capable of. Chronic's in a bit of trouble here. Reysbull sends it to the back post. AJG up quickly. No double tap for him. In fact, he's blocked CRR's follow-up shot. AJG's trying to get out of the way there, but Reysbull slots it. Top ins. 90 seconds into OT. We have Complexity taking the lead. Yeah, AJG just landed on CRR's shot there. Bit unlucky. How about that for a finish from Reysbull? I should probably tell the teams, just so you know, the 1v1 player is allowed to play 2v2 as well. 2v2 up next. So I know some crew battle formats decline or they limit the 1v1 player and the 2v2 team to separate players, but I'm not going to do that for this. Although I think these are two teams who would probably be still fine if I did limit them in that way. Could see a Jack noly 2v2, maybe against AJG Reysbull. But I think it's going to be CRR Reysbull against Jack Chronic here. Let's see. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's see if we've got any creative kickoff strats from the Spaniards. Yes, we do. Well, Thank goodness I mentioned it earlier. You guys wouldn't have believed I was saved by Jack. It didn't come in fast enough. You guys wouldn't have believed that I actually did in fact see that coming if I didn't speak quickly there. But you have to always expect it with the Spanish. I say Spaniard, CRR Spanish, and Reysbull speaks Spanish. But you know what I mean. I wanted to just put a flag up there because the overlay that I've got doesn't have org logos in there. That's why we've gone for Spain and England, because that's the languages that the teams are speaking. Yeah, plenty more where that came from with these guys in the pitch. CRR and Reysbull will no doubt be faking kickoffs, demoing kickoffs, and that's something Chronic and Jack are going to need to pay attention to. One thing I've not really seen anyone on this side of the Atlantic do, on the NA side of the Atlantic, really attempt, is the KSA kickoff that's kind of been popularized recently, where you try and win it to the side or lose it to the side, but not necessarily back corner, just like a slight loss to the side where you have a chance to get an aggressive shot off early. I think it's one of the most overpowered kickoffs, and nobody else is really doing it except the Saudi Arabian players. GenG speaks American. Yeah, Chronic might. Yeah, who do you guys think is the favorite in this match? I would say it's CRR Reysbull personally. I think Jack is, one of my favorite 2v2 players to watch. I think he's very smart with how he plays twos. I think Chronic's obviously phenomenal as well, but I just think the synergy of Reysbull CRR is superior to anything I've seen from Chronic and Jack in twos before. I've not really seen them play a lot of twos together, though, to be fair. Yeah, CRR Reysbull are a deadly, deadly duo. That's why they're my pick for this one. I think 1v1 is GenG's however they want to play it, though. I think Jack is most likely the 1v1 player for GenG. I think Reysbull most likely for complexity, and I think Jack would be favoured against either Reysbull or CRR. Oh, nice little setup there by Chronic. Just a slight touch from Reysbull to deny Jack the follow-up shot. CRR with a strong counter-attack setup. Reysbull slots it, and that is simple for CRR. Big 50-50 win there. Chronic a bit greedy, trying to keep the ball in the middle there. Jack wasn't recovered yet. Looks like noly might have gone AFK. He's the only one watching the replay. Yeah, are they going to try something special again? They are indeed. Oh, I love this. Look at them go. Just everybody take notes. They're just simply superior. Beautiful stuff. Complete fake kickoff there. Reysbull saves it after the half flip. I mean, didn't think we were going to be blessed by such greatness on our screens today. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. I don't know what it is, but it's not just Spain. It's literally the entire Spanish-speaking community, the Portuguese-speaking community, maybe not Portuguese-speaking community. Let's just say Spanish-speaking Rocket League community, and the Brazilians and this the Middle East. They're the only pros who really attempt anything with their kickoffs. Everybody else just does basic, boring, rubbish kickoffs. Then they lose and cry about it on Twitter. I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, we can all agree the French are the best at Rocket League, but they're absolutely creativity zero and terrible at kickoffs. They all need to be taking notes. Simple. Obviously, there's more to Rocket League than kickoffs, although I would love to tell you otherwise. And that's why France are still on top. Imagine not knowing how to win kickoffs and still winning the game. That's just how good they are, unfortunately, for everyone else. There's a clean performance so far by CRR and Reysbull. They've been deadly, but also sneaky with it. It's, a silent but deadly performance. A dry fart, you could say. Not really giving Jack or Chronic any warning of the threats that are imminent. You guys all acting confused in Twitch chat. Actors, you all know what I mean. Beautiful save by Chronic. Oh, hold on, that's might be open for Jack, so no doubt he's going to miss it off the post. Nah, so Reysbull saves it. Chronic looks to keep it alive anyway. Jack is behind him, quickly up into the air. No danger for Complexity. That's the second game win for them. They're going to lead by 2 after just 2 games. Comeback needed in game 1. Not in game 2 though. They led from the 1 goal that they did get earlier on. I thought silent but deadly was a phrase worldwide. Is that not a phrase? Silent but deadly? It is. Yeah, I thought that was like a global phrase that would just make sense, so didn't think I would need to explain why I put the words deadly and silent in the same sentence and called their playstyle the dry fart playstyle. Well, I guess I do. Silent doesn't mean dry. Well, listen. You tell me the last time you had a wet fart no one could hear. Oh, hold on a second. We got CRR against Jack. I didn't think it was going to be CRR. I thought it was going to be Reysbull. It's going to be CRR. This is the good thing about Complexity. They've got options for their 1v1. I know Reysbull was practicing 1v1 in preparation for Gamers Without Borders NA qualifier, but I know they did lose that, obviously, so maybe he just stopped playing 1v1 again. And now they're like, oh well, CRR, you can play the ones. Yeah, I reckon Jack is going to be favoured against either of them, so let's see if CRR can pull it out of the bag. The one NA team with good kickoffs is V1. V1 are decent, yeah, I like their double fake. It is a bit obvious though. The only reason it works right now is because other teams are too stupid to realise what's happening. They don't realise that if they see 2 players going for the kickoff, it's either going to be a bot kickoff or a fake. So all you've got to do is block it and don't hit it hard. Because fake kickoffs work when you hit the ball low and hard at the opponents, because obviously they just get a free touch. Doesn't work when you just hit it softly though. So if you want to counter the 2 options V1 have when they send 2 players to the kickoff, it's either a complete fake or a bot kickoff. Bot kickoff, of course, meaning 2 players hitting the ball at the same time. If you want to stop either of those at the same time, you just have to drive up in front of the ball and jump up in front of it. We get a big blocking hitbox. Don't worry too much about hitting the ball forward, just block it, because you're going to take 2 players out of the game, and if they are faking it, you're not going to hit it towards their 3rd man. Yeah, nobody's figured that out yet. Luckily, I've just leaked the counter live on stream to all of you. So if any team is watching, any coach, any players are watching, we're going to be playing an NARLCS against V1 in, what is it now? 10 days time. We might actually see somebody know what to do against it. But yeah, more likely they're not paying attention. They're just in free play chain resetting, and they're going to get scored on by V1 about 3 seconds after a kickoff. Good work here by ApparentlyJack. Spoof starving CRR. It's actually quite an interesting thing to note that challenging in reverse, if you were here, Reysbull's watching all the replays. Jack calling him out. Little tip for Reysbull: if you want to automatically skip all the replays, well, you don't have to leave the match. You can actually just do. You can just do this. If you sit in this change team screen, you automatically skip all the replays. So if any of you are watching, your mates play Rocket League, or you ever spectate in a game, that's how you auto skip. Reysbull just leaves because he can't be bothered skipping. Chronic's out here as well. They don't know that you can just sit in the change team screen. Jack just doesn't want anybody to be in here. He just wants it to be him, CRR. He's probably going to ask us to leave if we don't skip any replays next. Shall we watch all the replays? No, I'm not going to do that to him. That's harsh. That's harsh. It would be quite funny, but it's a bit harsh. Right, if he missed that open net, listen, if he missed that though and then CRR scored, I would have watched it. I'm not going to lie. I'll skip it because he scored it though. Yeah, Jack's just doing a thing here. CRR needs to get Jack out of his comfort zone here. This is a very Jack-esque 1v1 game. Just keeping it nice and controlled. He likes to play at this pace, I think, because it's a lot better for his YouTube commentary when he can explain what he's doing in the run-up to a play. You know, I can't imagine someone like Zen trying to explain in real time what they're doing when they're playing at the pace they play at. But Jack, he can just be like, just going to turn here. Doesn't really have anything he can do. Going to pop it up in the air. Just going to reverse into him maybe. Try and get this boost. He's going to get it. It's fine. Get ready to defend this. He might get a flip. Doesn't have it yet. Now he's got it. Force him high. Got time to get this boost. Just going to close the distance here. Try and box him off the mid boost. Oh, I might have misplayed actually. Oh, Jack, you're so silly. You're so silly, Jack. Why have you done that? You're playing so well. You just got greedy. Ah, I've missed an open net. Come on, bro. Yeah, true. Yeah, I was hoping at some point during that sequence he'd miss an open net, because I've heard him commentate open net misses by himself many times. I've got that one ready to go. Okay, here we go. Technically an open net for Jack. Is he going to put it in? Look at that. He slots it. Beautiful. You need to get the scrub killer impression. Wait till Friday. I'm going to be watching the EU Day 1 on Friday. I'll be doing a view party on Friday for EU Day 1, so you can tune in for scrub impressions and maybe the occasional actual gameplay analysis this Friday. Yeah, CRR's just not really got his heels dug in for this game, has he? He's not really had any response for Jack's constant presence. I mean, he's just there, isn't he? CRR's he's just hoping eventually that Jack will leave the ball. Jack's not doing it. He's just on the ball, and that is how you play this. Perfect flick there, by the way. Really nicely done. Yeah, $300 to the winner of this show match, sponsored by Chalkcast. Shout out Chalkcast, which is of course me, CJ, and Rizzo. Shout out myself. And shout out all the Chalkcast supporters who made this possible. That's who we should really be thanking. Unnecessary dive there by CRR. He probably had to go for the demo there if he was going to get a goal. Let's see if he can make it work anyway. Oh, he can! That's disgusting! I thought the only way he's going to score here is with the demo, but fair play. That is a pretty creative method. He realizes it's already a threat, steals the boost, and then just hits the brakes. Jack flying right by. Sorry, Jack, I'll skip the replay. Didn't mean to make you watch for that long. We're going to need full aggression by CRR if he's going to come back. And that's what we're getting. 3-goal difference. Hold on a second. I reckon if Jack is actually recording this for YouTube, my prediction of what he's saying right now is just need to get control of the ball and waste some time, because that's really what he has to do here. He doesn't need to... Oh, that's brave. Well, really well played though. Good read by Jack. He just needs to waste some time. He doesn't need to do anything crazy. He's just going to flick it high, set up the boost seal, and then keep pressure on. So he's denied CRR's boost, and now he's going to try and get some more time off the clock. CRR is just full chasing though. He's not giving Jack any time to recover in the midfield. He knows he's going to need to score soon to keep the chance of a comeback alive. Jack flicks it very high here, misses the following open net, and now here comes CRR. Top corner flick, perfectly executed, and just like that, a very difficult, to be fair, Jack open net miss actually gives CRR, Cristiano Ronaldo, a chance to come back. Big kickoff win for Jack though. He could shoot that, but I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to take his time. Does not want to go all in and give CRR another counter-attack goal. He'd rather play for the safe outcome. Double boost seal. Again, not shooting near post, just letting the clock do the work for him here. It's a very Cosmic-esque time wasting. But you know, before Cosmic was doing it, Jack was doing it. He's been playing the clock for many years now to perfection. CRR will pinch in a 6th goal in style, but it is nothing but a consolation prize. Jack puts one on the board for complexity, and now GenG will have the choice of the game mode going into game 4. I think they might pick I think the smart move here would be to run back ones. Just pick ones again. I reckon you run back ones here, because you just beat him by a goal. They pick 3s, though. They do pick 3s. Fair enough. All right, so they do pick 3s. So yeah, they don't have to play any more 1v1 is essentially what I'm saying here, if they don't want to. It's 3v3 for game 4, and then complexity will get to choose between 2s and 1s. My, you know, not very impressive prediction is that they're going to pick, by not very impressive I mean it's very obvious, is that I think Complexity are going to pick 2v2 in Game 5, and then in Game 6, I think GenG are just going to pick 3s again, and then I think Complexity are going to pick 2s again. I think we're just going to see 3s and 2s for the rest of this one. Because, yeah, although I think I mean, do you think Jack would actually pick 1s in a you know, Gamers 8 setting if this were like $100,000 on the line? Do you think he picks 1s there? It wasn't a comfortable win. I mean, I think if I'm Coach Illusion there, Illusion's the coach for GenG. If I'm Coach Illusion there and I'm picking the game mode, I would say 1v1. Oh, very nearly a good shot there by Chronic. noly finishes it off anyway. Yeah, I think I think players, they showed us last year in Gamers 8 that when the pressure's on, when you have a 1-goal game like that, it's actually very difficult mentally to run it back. Think to Falcons against Furia in the grand final. No, sorry, not the grand final, the semi-final. TRK beat Yan by 1 goal in the 1v1. It's a very, very close game. Nice save by Jack coming in. And then they did not pick 1v1 when they had the chance to. Later on in the series, they picked 2v2. They lost it this set for the second time. So, would Jack have picked 1v1 there at Gamers 8 if this is a matchup at Gamers 8? Oh, lovely passing by GenG. That's beautiful. But yeah, my prediction is I don't think he would have. I think he'd probably just say, nah, let's just do 3s or 2s. Because it wasn't like the 3v3 or the 2v2 were one-sided. And obviously they're going to back themselves to beat Complexity in 3s. They'd probably just pick 3s, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, if I was the coach, I would say 1v1. Because I'm not playing. So I'd trust my player to have the dub. Well, what about you guys? If you were the GenG coach, what would you have picked for this game in a competitive setting? Some marvelous passing play again. Oh, beautiful finish as well. This is amazing stuff from both teams. Team plays at either end of the field. How about this for a finish as well? Chronic going for the top corner save. CRR just slots it underneath him. You think Jack has the ice? I think Jack would be confident if somebody else told him you're playing 1v1 again. I think he'd be like, yeah, I've got this. I'm not saying Jack's not confident. I just think that when it's your choice, you're picking for yourself. It's a lot harder to say, yep, team, don't worry, I'm going to win this for us. Let me just play 1v1 again. It's much more, in a team game like Rocket League, much easier to just say, yeah, we're a team, we've done this a million times, let's just play 3v3. That's what we do all the time. Let's just win 3s. Yeah, I think this is definitely a more losable game for GenG. I think that the 3v3 is very close between these two. They are running it back successfully here. And they're about to tie the series. If they can keep up the passing plays. It's all been about the passing plays in this series so far. In this game, I should say. Oh, saved by CRR there. Point blank. Shot by Jack. Tried to squash it over the line. Beautiful line and the aerial challenge there by Jack as well. noly just drops it off, leaves it for Chronic. Sticking around to the attack as well himself. It's Complexity running very low in boost here. You don't need a boost overlay to tell. Just looking at their gameplay here. Oh my goodness, what a dunk by Chronic. What is this? How has he managed this one? Ceiling recovery, pre-flip dunk. That's actually insane. Where did it even come from? Yeah, I see a couple of you guys discussing the game mode thing. Just to summarize, I'm just saying if you give the player the choice, they're always going to go for 2s or 3s. Because it's very hard to pick 1v1 when you got teammates sitting beside you and say, don't worry, you guys suck, I'm going to win without you. But yeah, much easier for a coach to say, actually, I've looked at the statistics, I've looked at your matchup against this player, you're going to win this 70% of the time, whereas in 3v3 and 2v2, or maybe only winning 55% of the time, much more losable. But yeah, as we saw with Fusion years ago, I'm sure some of you guys will remember this. During the Fusion qualifiers, we had the exact same format as this, but best of 5s. And so many times, a team would lose 3v3 and then pick 3v3 anyway. They would lose 3v3, win one of the other game modes, and then choose 3v3. And then the other team would lose the rematch 3v3, and then they would pick 3v3 as well. Teams just wanted to play 3s because it's their comfort zone. It just isn't stressful to play 3s. Compared to 2s and 1s. 1s and 2s are a lot more stressful competitively than 3s. 3s you could just kind of drive around, full boost a lot of the time, full speed, boom everything. It's just a feel-good game mode when you're playing with people who you understand, playing with teammates you enjoy playing with. Whereas 2s and 1s, even if you like playing with your teammates, it's very stressful. You're going to get in these situations against teams like Complexity where they demo kick off you. You're going to get in 1 situations where you're on time boost and you've got to defend against an air dribble bump. This is a much more stressful situation. Oh my! What is it with AJG and the redirects these days? This is ridiculous. Where is he? He's number 7. Okay, found him. That's an absolute peach by AJG. Well played. I don't know what it was, but yeah, coming into this split, his redirects just leveled up significantly. Do I think Falcons did wrong by choosing 2v2 over 1v1? I think so, yeah, definitely. I would have picked 1v1 again if I were them. Yeah, the order of the Falcons versus Furia match was I think Falcons won 3v3. Then Falcons won the 1v1 that Furia chose, and then Falcons won the next 3v3 as well. Then Furia won game 4 2v2, and then they also won game 5 3v3. So it was going into game 6. Falcons had a choice. They had 2 chances left to win the series, and they picked 2v2 instead of 1s. Yeah, at the time a lot of people were criticizing it. I don't think it was a terrible choice, personally. Because they did change their lineup for it. I think maybe the biggest mistake that they made was not playing TRK in the first 2v2. Because what Falcons did is the first 2v2 that they played against Furia, Ahmad and Khaled played it. Now, I'm expecting that their prep for that day had been Ahmad and Khaled grinding 2s, TRK grinding 1s. That's why Ahmad and Khaled played the 2v2. It didn't work for them. Then they switched to TRK and Khaled, and that didn't work either. I think it would have been smart to play TRK and Khaled in game 4, and if that doesn't work, then maybe play TRK and Ahmad in game 6 in 2v2, or just run back to 1v1. Yeah, I think their biggest mistake was not playing TRK, their best player, in the first 2v2. But yeah, very small mistake. You've got, I mean, for goodness sake, you've got Ahmad and Khaled on the pitch. That's a pretty good 2v2 team. Can't really complain about that. But back to the present, we've got Jack and Chronic. They've already got the revenge win against Complexity in 3v3. Now they're going for the revenge win against Complexity in 2v2 as well. And it looks like they're off to a flying start. 2 goals already. Jack set up the first one with a fadeaway 50-50 win. And now Chronic capitalizes on a defensive mistake by Complexity to make it 2-0. Let's see if they can keep the Complexity combo at bay for over 4 minutes. AJX Jet 1, thanks for the Prime. Welcome to the channel. LeBron's James, thanks for the 21-month Prime. Welcome back to you. Jack already denying 50-50s from Complexity. He's not flipping into the ball in these challenges. It might be something that he's intentionally switched up from the first game. I think back to the only goal Complexity did score in the last game. The last 2v2, I should say. It was off a CRR 50-50. Now, if they're flipping into the ball hard every time, I think Jack will probably have picked up on that, and he's decided, I'm just going to fake flipping into the ball. And instead, drive away from it. Jack running away from a demo there, does escape. Keeps the ball out the back of his net. And here comes Chronic the other way, 1v1 with CRR. Delays the shot. It's open for Jack. Double commit from Complexity. Not followed up by any quick recoveries. And it will result in a 3-goal lead for GenG. Jack's been very critical of his kickoffs in his last video. Is that 1v1 kickoffs? I actually see a fourth goal here. Chronic's got options, and obviously for him, this is a much easier shot than it is for me, and for a lot of you guys watching. Just like that, he does bury it for 4-0. Jack's been missing speed flips, you're saying? Oh, okay. That's a weird one. I mean, that's something you can really get inside your own head if you're missing something on a kickoff setup. It can get really, really repetitive. Again, Jack not flipping into the ball on a 50-50. He's been very consistent with this in the second game, and it's definitely messed with complexity a little bit. Passing option here for COL. CRR pings it middle, but a bit too telegraphed. Chronic saw it a mile away. This is a bit less so. CRR bumps Chronic out of the way to get the opening goal. A red alert for GenG. Right here, they've got to be thinking this could be a cheeky kickoff. Well, if they were thinking it, they didn't do anything about it immediately. Chronic was able to stay safe at the backfield, away from any potential demos. Oh, well played. Look at Chronic go. Backwall demo, and then a cheeky reverse dish to finish off the maneuver. He's just been unstoppable in this game. 4 goals. Another kickoff. This time it's GenG with the fake. Jackson who cuts in field. Again, just lets complexity hit the ball. He's been all about letting complexity hit the ball in this game. Chronic now running fast away from CRR. What a save by Chronic. He's being chased down by CRR. Ran into the roof of his net. Jumped downwards. So then smash through a 50-50 on his own goal line. And that's not easy to do. That's a bit of a misplay there though by Chronic. CRR hits the bar though. 4-goal lead intact for complexity for now. Free jump from CRR fails to connect. Time running out now for COL. You've seen enough. Chronic's a top 82s player. I love it. I hope that is something you've got a list for. That would be pretty pretty cool project to work on. Yeah, Chronic's phenomenal. He is just a one-man wrecking crew. He does so much on the ball. Just such a scary player to go up against. It's really that fear factor that's been so important this season for a lot of teams. Reysbull, you know, becoming more of a scary player this season compared to last. Same with AJG. That's, I think, a lot of complexity's success. Chronic has been a big part of GenG's success in that same way. They've been defensively sound as well here. Obviously the attack worked wonderfully, but they really have given complexity very little to work with in this game. Oh, that's a very nice pre-jump though. Shot goes high. I think the pass from Reysbull looked pretty good. I don't know if CRR was trying to hit that too hard. Wait, did Jack just deliberately hit that wide? I think he might have just deliberately hit that wide, so we're winning by 4 already. I know everybody's going to be thinking open net miss by Jack. I didn't actually see what happened. I'm actually, in fact, assuming it was Jack on that. Because I was looking at my chat at the time. Was it, in fact, Jack? Or am I just accidentally blaming him? Is he getting collateral for all of his open net misses in the past? Was it Chronic? Okay. Did he miss on purpose, as I think he might have? Whoa! Accumulates. Thanks for the 20 gifted subs. GenG choice. They're going to pick 3s. The reason that we've got a choice here is because if we... Oh, they pick 1s. Well. They're going for the full run back. 3s, 2s, 1s. 3s, 2s, 1s. Yeah, if you're wondering why do we have this order, the reason is the first 3 games determine the pick order in this format. For the rest of the series. So after 3 games, where every game mode is played, one team will be losing, so it's an odd number of games. that losing team picks the game mode for Game 4 and Game 6. That team who were losing after Game 3 was GenG. So they picked the game mode for Game 4, they picked 3s. And now they're picking the game mode for Game 6, which is 1s. And it's going to be Reysbull this time taking on Jack. So we will see a bit of a switch up from COL. Will it be enough to stop GenG, who are on a bit of a win streak right now? In fact, yeah, they've won the last 3 games. They've won every game mode back to back to back. Yeah, Chronic briefly entered the lobby there before leaving. But thank you again to Akuma Lights for the 20 gifted subs. I think, yeah, TRK got randomly gifted a sub there. That's that's pretty funny. Welcome, TRK. And thank you as well to Akuma Lights for 4-month tier 1 of his own. Welcome back to you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, don't worry. We will. If Complexity do win this, they do in fact get the choice of game mode in the next game. They just have to pick anything except 1v1. Now that's a brilliant interception by Reysbull. We need to see this from Jack's POV because he thought he had a chance to get in this pass. Reysbull doubled it off the ceiling before sticking it in with a soft ground pinch. Fake kickoff. Gets Reysbull a second possession play. Good vision to see Jackson not advancing. Reysbull definitely didn't mean to drop that ball as low as he did. Has to concede the boost to keep his car alive here. Jack forces him off the backboard nonetheless and ties the game. Did Reysbull need to do that? I think he probably did have to concede that boost. The only other option he had, other than just leaving the ball, was to flip over Jack, because I think Reysbull did in fact have a slightly further forward position there. So even though he couldn't get the boost by driving forward safely, he could have probably done it by just flipping. Oh, what a mind game. Jack just drops it under him for 2-1. It's just effortless by Jack. He's just not flipping into the ball against Complexity here. He's just letting them play. If they're going to hit it, fair enough. If they're not, then, well, I guess you're going to get faked. It's actually a really cool adaptation you can make in your own games if you're wanting to emulate what Jack is doing here. Reysbull nearly emulates my first stream that went somewhat viral. One in chat if you know what we're talking about there. But yeah, if you want to emulate what Jack is doing with his challenges in this match, he's done what Reysbull did there, just not flipping into the ball. So if you realize your opponents are very, very chasey, they're just hitting the ball dead center every single time, they're just going for the ball quickly every single time, one thing you can do is what Reysbull did right there, and what Jack did for his mind game goal earlier on in this match. Just to sit back a little bit further behind the ball so that you're not turning your car into a platform for them to ramp the ball up and over. Wow, that's a great save by Reysbull. That looked almost impossible to save from Jack's POV, but Reysbull denied him. Air double bump goal. Denies him again this time. Timing his dodge to perfection. Very safe play on the back wall there by Reysbull again. It's a little bit of a boost from Jack to snag mid boost. He's playing this one out very smartly, Reysbull. I think he's clocked onto the fact that Jack is not flipping into the ball. He's just driving into it. But yeah, if you realize a player's doing this, if they're just low 50ing everything, you just have to make sure that you never jump high into challenges. Like, Reysbull's got to be so careful right now not to jump high into a challenge, or else he'll bounce off the ball and Jack will get a free goal. He has to hit the ball just dead center and make sure to flip through it, not just to hit it away from himself, but to really follow the ball as he hits it. Make sure to get multiple touches. It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors scenario. Okay, that's one way to control the ball in your back corner, Reysbull. Phenomenal control. What placement. Not sure he had that in mind. Not quite that precisely, of course. It was very effective though. 3-all now. Yeah, I should probably briefly explain the other two elements of the rock, paper, scissors. So, okay, low 50 beats somebody aggressively dunking the ball. But it loses to somebody who's ball chasing. Low 50 loses to somebody who's just like flipping straight through the ball with multiple touches. Low 50 is probably going to get dunked on. But if somebody's going for an aggressive dunk, low 50 is going to destroy that. However, an aggressive dunk can destroy somebody who's just flipping through the dead center of the ball. You're going to go over the top of somebody who's hitting the ball center. You're going to hit it over them as you interact with each other. So it's a rock paper scissors. One of them will beat the other. You just have to figure out what one your opponent is doing. Is your opponent aggressively dunking, trying to block high, trying to block in front, anticipating your touches? Great. Just go for a low 50. Are they low 50ing? Okay, just ignore what they're doing. Hit the ball dead center, roll with it. Is your opponent a ball chaser? Alright, well, now you can just start ball chasing again, but you can dunk on them every time. This works, at pro level, of course, because these guys are always looking out for these things when they're playing against each other. They know the tendencies that the opponents are up against. And it will work in your ranked games as well. It's something you should look out for in the first minute of a game that you play. And you can start to punish your opponent for the remaining 4 minutes. This is very interesting here. I think we might actually see if Complexity could win this, if Reysbull could actually beat Jack. What game mode do you think Complexity picked for the last game? They'd have to pick 3s or 2s. I think they just bring the gang back together, just play 3s. And we'd have the full cycle. 3s, 2s, 1s, 3s, 2s, 1s, and then 3s again. Reysbull's just brilliant, isn't he? I can't believe he's playing Jack this close. Nice anticipation though by Jack. He saw Reysbull trying to sneak a challenge in. Reysbull wasn't able to hide himself behind the ball there. He's a bit side on his approach. Very blatant challenge. Jack saw that one. A long, long way away. Reysbull's got a little bit of boost to play with here. Enough to get underneath the ball and flick it. Jack had to use all of his boost to get the save. A quick wave dash. Going back into position. Oh my goodness, what a first touch by Reysbull. I mean, the shot was perfect, but it was enabled by this first touch. This is honestly pure perfection to drive underneath the ball like that, chip it up in a position you can shoot it before your opponent can close the gap, and also set up your run-up at the same time. That's perfection by Reysbull. Now the fake kickoff has him in full control. He's going to try and add another goal to his tally. Oh, no, he isn't actually. Just bails in the attack. Takes the boost with the wave dash. And now he's going to pick up mid on spawn. I think he might have missed it there actually, but no problem. Who needs that when you've got an open net? Jack leaves the ball. Bit careless there. I have to see what was he playing for here. Oh, he didn't think Reysbull was going to turn. He saw Reysbull miss the boost. Thought Reysbull was going to go back corner or just at least leave the ball. Reysbull instead just played it quickly. Oh, what a read. Reysbull with the delayed kickoff. Jack chips it straight past him, and that's just vision by Jack. He saw Reysbull's nameplate approaching just a little bit too slowly, so he chipped it over his shoulder. We're back to a 1-goal difference. Big kickoff win now for Jack. Ball's not sitting on the wall though, so he's going to need to cut in field. Bump lands. The ball's not moving very quickly though. Should still be fine. Jack looks for a way through with the physical game. Gotta give credit to Reysbull though. He nearly had that. If it wasn't for the awkward landing on the crossbar, he would have had a save. I would have had a double save in fact. His air double bump defense has been brilliant. Jack does find a way through. Reysbull escapes the wrath of Jack. Oh, and he got it in! What a shot! My goodness. The drama continues. He knew he was being chased here. He just escaped and lightly popped the ball on target. I thought he was going to hit the bar, but he dipped in. And now Jack's got to figure out a way to get control of the ball. With just 9 seconds left. He has done so on the last few kickoffs. I don't think he's got it this time though. Reysbull has all the boost to play with. And he just puts the ball on target to waste Jack's time. This is so smart by Reysbull, just putting it over Jack's head there. Now he's going to bump him. Brilliant stuff. Well, we're going game 7. We've had 3v3, 2v2 and 1v1 wins for both teams. Yeah, we might have ads coming, so I'm going to run a minute of ads so we don't get it in the next game. But don't worry, you're not going to miss the last game of the series. We'll find out what complexity you're going to choose. We do get the full cycle. This is actually so cool. What brilliant script. Teams have really made it very convincing. I think ads are finished in like 10 seconds, so that should be fine as well. I'll just sit and spectate to make it take a couple seconds longer. Oh. He somehow lost a second at the countdown there, but okay, let's see who's going to take the Shotcast crew battle number 2. This one has gone to game 7. Complexity and GenG have been perfect matches for each other up until now. Trading wins in 1s, 2s, and 3s. With Reysbull, I think individually, being the player with the best win rate. I guess Reysbull and ApparentlyJack. No, it'll just be Reysbull, won't it? Because, yeah, Reysbull and ApparentlyJack are completely even in... Wait. I think that was a team save there. A bit of a mistake there by Complexity. Yeah, Reysbull has the best win rate overall. Because, yeah, he's +1. Jack is even. CRR is -1 because he lost the 1v1. That's the advantage of having a couple of capable ones players. More than capable. A couple of world-class ones players on your roster. Jack respecting Reysbull's shot there, deflecting it into the post. It's all Complexity early. And it's still Reysbull who's controlling the lobby. He's running the show here. Brilliant there by CRR as well, though, just waiting for the defender to commit, knocking it middle past him. The ads are so random. You got 1 of 3 finished, and then you got 1 of 3 more. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with ads these days. Oh, what a save by AJG. I think he just pinched that off the crossbar at a very tight angle to get the clearing touch. Reysbull takes over. Looking to offload. Jack gets a piece of it. Won't have to take it away from Complexity, though. Oh, that's actually on. noly, you better run home. AJG with a little skim double off his own backboard. Big dunk by noly. Nothing Reysbull can't handle. That's a really smart play there by Chronic. He actually jumped off the wall to block Reysbull's touch. And then when Reysbull didn't hit the ball, Chronic flipped back onto the wall to continue in a blocking angle. That's something you can do not just to increase your coverage of how many options you're actually stopping your opponent from having, but also to have a recovery on the back of any big wall interception that you go for. Because I know a lot of you guys, if any of my ranked teammates are watching, I know you guys absolutely love to go for massive wall dunks where you fly a mile off the wall, completely miss the ball, use all your boost, then you land in a different continent and take 10 years to get back into defense. I know you all love to do that, but in fact you don't have to jump all the way off the wall to get a block. You could just jump off the wall with 1 jump, and then instead of like using your second jump to flip away from the wall again, increasing your recovery time dramatically, you can actually just flip back onto the wall and you get a ton of coverage. You block a lot of what your opponent can actually do, and you immediately recover. So always have the recovery in mind. Something you'll see pros doing automatically, unless Jack's showing us what a longer recovery looks like there. Oh, right, with a unexpected dunk on the end of this. That extends GenG's offensive stay. But you love doing that. Yeah, I'm sure it feels very satisfying when it works, but man, it's a long road back if you miss. It's a long road back. Of course, if you are going to, so if you do love going for your big blocks off the wall, you know, diving off a wall to intercept someone, or diving off the ceiling to intercept somebody, try and do it near another wall, or, you know, in a position where you can immediately land. If you're jumping off the side wall, try and do it where you can immediately land on the back wall, or land on the opponent's back wall. That way you do have a different recovery path, even though you're completely leaving the wall you're jumping off. So, just over a minute to go here. Complexity have held GenG scoreless in a very disciplined game for them. I think this is something we see from Complexity quite a lot these days. If they can get in front, they look very comfortable, but when they get behind, they're just as likely to concede more as the other team are to concede to them. Final minute now. Can GenG get anything from the remaining 45 seconds? They don't have a lot of momentum to work with here. AJG firmly sends the ball back into their end. noly looks completely out of position in this play. Jack has 100 boost and control. Looking to fake Reysbull out. ineffective. Reysbull continues to play the ball, and he puts in his second goal for Complexity. And unless GenG can conjure up something from the kickoff, that might just be it. Reysbull too good. So noly didn't expect that recovery after the previous 50-50 challenge. Kodak, thanks for the prime. St. Matthew, thanks for the 14-month prime. We're not going to get an immediate kickoff goal from GenG, but they will still have a chance to go all in here. Jack with a ceiling pinch. Lengthwise, noly demoed one, but not the player on the ball. noly demos another on spawn there. He gets AJG again. noly is chain demoing AJG. But while that's happening, Jack and Chronica but unable to 2v2 CRR and Reysbull. And we will have a Complexity Game 7 win in the Chalkcast crew battle. Brilliant script by these guys. We've got to, thank them all for sticking to it until the last game. We had 2 games for Complexity, 3 games for GenG in the middle, and then another 2 games for Complexity at the end. Both teams showing just how well-rounded they are in the crew battles format.